Hello, everyone. My name is Janet Semenova, and I am the co-founder of Centered CEOs, a multiple-time business owner, and I have an extensive history and experience working in the health and wellness industry as a nurse practitioner, and also as a certified health coach. So our mission with Centered CEOs is to help 10,000 small business owners elevate their business, their brand, their personal health and well-being, learn to delegate responsibilities, and replicate successful, predictable outcomes in their business. And today I want to talk to you guys a little bit about health and wellness, and also about how we as business owners oftentimes sacrifice our own health and wellness for the betterment of our business, or for the betterment of our employees, or because we believe that if we work just a little bit harder, or work a little bit more hours, or skip a weekend, or skip lunch, or skip exercising, or skip that vacation, that the more we invest in our business, the likelier we are to become successful. And what actually happens a lot of times is that instead of generating successful outcomes, when we sacrifice our personal health and well-being, we actually reduce our chances of creating sustainable businesses, and we also sabotage our longevity, our personal happiness, and the longevity of our business. And what happens to a lot of very successful business owners, and also people in business, who have high stress jobs, and people who have highly demanding careers and professions, is that they often end up getting burnt out. And there's a lot of statistics and a lot of data out there to show that certain professions have a very high burnout rate. Other professions have a little bit lower burnout rate. But overall, the more intense and successful a lot of people become, the likelier they become to burn out, because they are trading their time for money, and they're trading their health and wellness for time with their business, thereby sacrificing the time that they invest in themselves. And this is, again, a real issue, and something that at Centered CEOs we feel really passionate about. Our whole goal with Centered CEOs is to help business owners understand that you can have a well-rounded and well-balanced holistic business where you are serving clients, where you are bringing joy to the people that you service, where you are a good leader and a good mentor to the people that work for you and your team members, and where you are growing and scaling your business at the rate that you feel most comfortable, and also generating profits without sacrificing personal health and happiness. And so today I just wanted to take a few minutes to just quickly talk about some of the things that we do in our business, and that I have personally practiced for many years, that dates back to my healthcare days. And these are just some simple mindfulness exercises. And these are exercises that literally anyone can learn to do, that anyone can implement into their life, and really generate, lower your anxiety, generate happiness, improve your focus and your mental well-being. And when you have a improved mental well-being, and you feel happier, and you feel focused, and you have clarity, you actually are better able to perform better at your job and in your personal life. And so your relationships improve with your team members, your relationships improve with the people in your life, your family members and your loved ones, your friends, and with your customers as well. So the first one I want to talk about is one that I practice every single day, that I think pretty much everybody should practice. It literally just takes a couple of minutes, and the longer you do it, the more natural and easier it becomes. And it's something that I really love, and it's called the 4-7-8 breathing technique. And when you start out, you can do it for just 1 to 3 minutes a day. As you get more comfortable with it, you can do it for a little bit longer periods of time. But this technique, 4-7-8 breathing, actually helps to lower your heart rate and calm your mind, regulate your breathing, and it can actually decrease pain, decrease anxiety, and improve mental clarity. And the way it works is very simple. So you breathe in for a count of 4 seconds. And then you hold your breath for 7 seconds, and you just hold your breath, and then you breathe out through your mouth for 8 seconds. And so the way it works is in through your nose, hold your breath, and then exhale softly through your mouth. And usually I just say, just purse your lips and exhale like. And again, so you inhale for 4 seconds, you hold your breath for 7 seconds, and then you calmly exhale for a count of 8. And it sounds really straightforward, but when you first are starting this exercise, actually exhaling for 8 breaths is usually the trickiest and most challenging part of this whole exercise, because we're not used to, unless you practice a lot of yoga or you meditate a lot, most of us are not used to regulating our breathing. And when we regulate our breathing, like I mentioned earlier, there's very specific physiologic effects that happen within your body, and your heart rate decreases, your anxiety decreases. And this exercise is really great to do several times a day. I'll usually do it in the morning, sometime in the afternoon, and right before bed. And if you do this exercise right before bed, it actually really helps you fall asleep much quicker. Of course, you can't be on electronics and things like that, can't have screen time right before you go to sleep. And it helps you stay asleep as well. So a really great exercise, 4-7-8. Breathe in for a count of 4 through your nose. Hold your breath for 7, and then breathe out slowly through your mouth, controlled, for a count of 8. And you can repeat this several times, 2-3 times, or the better you get at it, you can repeat it even more times. Now I do it, and I can do this exercise, 10 rounds pretty easily, and it really helps to calm me. The next one that I also really love is called a body scan. And this one takes a little bit longer, usually anywhere from 5 to 30 minutes. I enjoy doing body scan exercises while using a meditation app like Headspace or Calm. Those are 2 really great apps. They're very affordable. You just get a subscription for them. They have free trial periods usually. And they have a lot of body scan meditations, because sometimes when you're first starting this meditation, it can be a little bit tricky to kind of get into the zone. And so if you use a meditation tape or an app, then it really kind of guides you through the process. But the way it works, generally speaking, is you lie on your back with your legs extended and your arms at your side, your palms facing up, and you take a few minutes to just relax. So you just breathe normally, you try to clear your mind, you try to push away all the stress and worry and anxiety of the day, and you just breathe. And then once you've kind of relaxed yourself and you've regulated your breathing, you can start with a body scan. So you start essentially understanding and tuning into how your body is feeling, starting from the top of your head and going all the way down to your toes. So, what do you feel in your head? How does your head feel? How does your face feel? How do your shoulders feel? Your arms, your legs, your chest, your belly, your torso, and then down through your legs. And the point while you're doing this exercise is to notice any sensations, emotions, or thoughts associated with each part of your body that rise up, and to really just dismiss them. So you acknowledge them and then you let them go. So you might feel like, oh, I'm itchy. Okay, let it go. Or, oh, I have an ache and a pain. Or, when you get to your chest, you might say to yourself, I'm feeling a little bit anxious. My chest feels a little bit tight. I'm having a little bit of trouble breathing because I have all this stress and worry. And you acknowledge it, you notice it, and then you let it go. And so it really helps you to tune into your body and helps you to, when you are then faced with aggravating situations, anxiety-provoking situations, stressful situations, disappointment, to really understand how your body is responding to it, and to really be aware of what your response is. And then it also helps you to regulate your response. So instead of just reacting, flying off the handle, you can sit back and say, okay, what am I feeling right now? Why am I feeling this way? How can I change how I feel, or how can I use my feelings to resolve this situation versus using my feelings and my emotions to, you know, get myself more worked up. So that's the body scan. Again, I recommend using Headspace or Calm or another app or meditation video to help you kind of get into the groove of it when you're first starting out. And then the last one is just a seated meditation for 5 to 30 minutes. This is the hardest and the easiest because everyone practices seated meditation a little bit differently. Usually people recommend that you find a comfortable spot on the floor, you put your back straight, you cross your legs, you put your hands in your lap, and you just start breathing. And normally, the way I practice meditation is I just breathe in through my mouth, breathe in through my nose, breathe out through my mouth. And I don't necessarily count. I don't necessarily focus too much on it. And usually I'll just close my eyes and, you know, start to notice the sensations and the thoughts that come up in my mind. Because no matter how in tune with your body you are, no matter how much you practice meditation or yoga, all of us have thoughts, especially as business owners. There's going to be things that come up. You're going to start thinking to yourself, oh, I forgot to return this phone call. Oh, I have to get to my P&L statement. I have to get back to my accountant. I have to get back to the attorneys. I have a team meeting. I have all of these things that start to come up. And what happens during the course of the day when all of these things are starting to come up in our minds is, you know, we start to try to multitask. And so our thoughts are always going in a million different directions. And the goal of any type of meditation or mindfulness exercise is to really bring the focus inward and to really help you center yourself. So where you can really just focus on one particular thing that you're doing, because tons of research has proven actually that hyper-focusing on one particular thing helps you achieve greater results and accomplish more. So the seated meditation, find a comfortable spot. Again, you can do this with an app like Headspace or Calm, and I promise I'm not an affiliate, so they're not paying me to say them. I just have known them and used them, and I really like both those apps, or any other type of video or, you know, meditation guidance that you want to have. And you breathe in through your nose. And again, you focus on the sensations, and you focus on the sensations of your breath, the way it feels when it moves in and out of your mouth. And then you focus on the sensations that rise up in your body, whether that's a physical discomfort, whether that's a pain or an ache, or, you know, and you try to kind of just let it go and dismiss it. So you acknowledge it. Yeah, I'm feeling a little bit uncomfortable. Oh, I'm feeling a little bit anxious. Oh, I feel itchy. And you let it go. So you don't give into that thought, and you don't give into, you know, wanting to react to it. You just acknowledge it and dismiss it. And that is really the most powerful part of any type of mindfulness exercise or meditation. Because essentially what you want to be able to do in your daily life, when stress comes up, when disappointment comes up, when you have an angry customer, you want to be able to acknowledge how they're feeling and how they're speaking and what their body language is saying without reacting. You want to be able to acknowledge your own feelings and emotions and then respond without having to respond in a very intentional way. And so again, mindfulness exercises help you respond intentionally. So imagine your thoughts are kind of like clouds in the sky, and they slowly drift by and you let them go. And again, all of these exercises take some practice and time. I have the 4-7-8 breathing exercise at the top of my list because for me personally, that was the easiest one to kind of get going on. I'm a very restless person. I don't really like to sit still for long periods of time. And so 4-7-8 breathing, I'm like, oh, 1 to 3 minutes, done. I can get that done. And I've really adapted it. And so now I really can't even fall asleep without doing it. It's become a habit. And when something becomes a habit and we become accustomed to it, it's not a chore anymore. And so now it makes me happy. It's something I look forward to, is doing my quick breathing exercises in the morning, in the afternoon, and before I go to bed. Again, the body scan, something that's good to do with a little bit of practice with an app, and then the seated meditations. And once you get good at the seated meditations, some people keep them at 5 to 10 minutes. Some people like to meditate for, 30 minutes or more, and it's really up to you, but it's something you can always go back to. And so even when I practiced pain management and we worked with patients who had really severe pain, who had oftentimes debilitating illnesses or terminal illnesses. And we were giving them, of course, medications and complicated medical regimens. But one of the things that we always went back to was breathing exercises, guided imagery, and relaxation techniques, because they really, really work. And I always say, okay, if a breathing exercise can work for somebody who's undergoing massive surgery, or somebody who is been in a really traumatic accident, or somebody who's sick with cancer, I know for sure that they can work for us business owners when we're dealing with the stress and anxiety of running a business. And that's not at all to minimize the stress that comes with running your own business and the amount of responsibility, but it's really to say that we are responsible for our own mental health and our own physical and mental well-being. Nobody else is responsible for them. And so we need to take ownership of how we feel, of how we act, of how we think, because the truth is, the healthier we are mentally and physically, the better we can be at leading others, and the better that we can be at setting a good example for the team members and for the people that we serve. So I hope that these were helpful to you. Let me know if you guys have questions. This was just a quick check-in, and I hope that you guys enjoyed these. And if anybody wants this picture, just send us a message and we can send it along to you. I know sometimes it's a little bit hard to see on the screen, but I just wanted to have a little bit of a visual. So have a great day, and thank you so much for tuning in. Bye-bye.